Hello everyone, welcome to the part 3 of a chapter 1, Introduction to Electronic Communication, that is antenna. So an antenna is an electrical device which converts electric currents into radio waves and vice versa. It is usually used with a radio transmitter or a radio receiver. In a transmission, a radio transmitter applies an oscillating radio frequency electric current to the antenna's terminals, and the antenna radiates the energy from the current as electromagnetic waves or radio waves. Transmitting antenna. Any structure designed to efficiently radiate electromagnetic radiation in a preferred direction is called a transmitting antenna. And in reception, an antenna intercepts some of the power of an electromagnetic wave in order to produce any tiny voltage at its terminals. So that is applied to receiver to be amplified. An antenna can be used for both transmitting and receiving. So the receiving antenna, that is nothing but any structure designed to efficiently receive electromagnetic radiation, is called a receiving antenna. So what are the need of antenna? So this need of an antenna arises when two persons wanted to communicate between them when separated by some distance, and wired communication is not possible. So antennas are required by any radio receiver or a transmitter to couple its electrical connection to the electromagnetic field. So radio waves are electromagnetic waves which carry signals through the air or through space at the speed of light with the almost no transmission loss. Then radio transmitters and receivers are used to convey signals or information in systems including broadcast, that is audio, radio, television, mobile telephones, then point-to-point communication links, that is telephone radio networks, and satellite links. So radio waves are also used directly for measurements in technologies including the radar, GPS, and radio astronomy. In each and every case, the transmitters and receivers involved require antennas. So although these are sometimes hidden, such as the antenna inside an AM radio or inside a laptop computer equipped with a Wi-Fi. So where these antennas are used? Antennas are used in a system such as a radio and television broadcasting, point-to-point radio communication, wireless LAN, radar, and space exploration. Then antennas are most utilized in air or outer space, but can also be operated underwater or even through soil and rock at certain frequencies for short distances. So the radiation mechanism of this antenna. Ideally, all incident energy must be reflected back when open circuit, but practically a small portion of electromagnetic energy escapes from the system, that it gets radiated. So this occurs because the line of force don't undergo complete phase reversal and some of them is escaped. So this is the transmission lines where this electromagnetic energies, they are transmitted through these lines, and at the open end of this circuit, so here the complete reversal process is not performed, or that is not undergo complete phase reversal, and some of this energy that is escaped, and this is called as the radiation. So the amount of escaped energy is very small due to mismatch between the transmission line and the surrounding space. Also because two wires are too close to each other. So here the distance between these two lines, it is very small. So there are more wires are too close to each other. Radiation from one tip will cancel the radiation from the other tip. So as they are opposite polarities and distance between them is too small compared to the wavelength. So to increase the amount of radiation power, open circuit must be enlarged by separating the or spreading the two wires. Due to this arrangement, coupling between the transmission line and the free space is improved, and also amount of cancellation has reduced. So here we have opened the end of these two wires, slightly we have opened, and the radiation efficiently will increase further if two conductors of a transmission lines are bent so as to bring them in a same line. So in this way, if we are bent and they are bring in the same line, then the maximum radiation will be possible. Radiation pattern. So this is the radiation pattern of the antenna, or we can say that this is the spherical radiation pattern. So it is just available theoretically, it is not available as a practically. And this radiation pattern is used to study the radiation patterns of the other antennas. So here the main lobe is given. So main lobe is where the maximum radiation they are radiated in the particular direction by the antenna, and these are the back lobe where some radiations they are also radiated in the opposite direction, and these are the side lobes where some radiations they are also radiated some other direction. So the radiation pattern of an antenna is a plot of the relative field strength of the radio waves emitted by the antenna at different angles. So it is typically represented by a three-dimensional graph or a polar plots of the horizontal and vertical cross sections. And it is a plot of a field strength in a voltage per meter versus the angle in degrees, that is in the isotropic antenna, or the pattern we have shown in previous slide. So the pattern of an ideal isotropic antenna which radiates equally in all directions would look like a sphere. And many non-directional antennas such as the dipoles emit equal power in all horizontal directions, with the power dropping off at a higher and lower angles, and this is called an omnidirectional pattern. So the direction of radiation of many antennas shows a pattern of maxima or lobes at various angles separated by nulls, angles where the radiation falls to 0. Okay, so these lobes they are separated actually nulls, and the nulls, these are the angles where the radiation is 0. So this is because the radio waves emitted by the different part of an antenna typically interfere, so causing maxima at angles where the radio waves arrive at a distant points in a phase, and zero radiation at other angles where the radio waves arrive out of the phase. In a directional antenna designed to project these radio waves in a particular direction, the lobe in that direction is designed larger than the other and is called as the main lobe. And the other lobes usually represent unwanted radiation and are called the side lobes, and the axis through the main lobe is called the principal axis or a Borside axis. Then antenna polarization. The polarization of an antenna refers to the orientation of the electric field it produces. The polarization is important because the receiving antenna should have the same polarization as the transmitting antenna to maximize the received power. So here the antenna polarization, they are of a horizontal polarization, vertical polarization and circular polarization. So the electric and magnetic field rotate at the frequency of the transmitter. So used when the orientation of the receiving antenna is unknown, so will work for both the vertical and horizontal antennas. And right hand circular polarization and left hand circular polarization, they are the type of a circular polarization, and both antennas must be the same orientation. So here the wavelength is given. So a radio wave can be visualized as a sine wave. The distance a wave travels to complete one cycle is known as the wavelength of the signal. And we know that the wavelength and the frequency f of an electromagnetic wave in a free space are related by the speed of light, that is nothing but the c equal to f into lambda, or lambda equal to c by f. So here example is given. If the radio station is broadcasting at a frequency of 100 megahertz and the wavelength of the signal is given by, that means we can calculate the wavelength of this signal having frequency 100 megahertz is by the formula, that is lambda equal to c by f. So here by c is nothing but the speed of light and f is nothing but the frequency of the signal. So here we get the wavelength of a 3 lambda. So the height of antenna also depends on the wavelength. As the higher the wavelength, then shorter the height of the antenna. The smaller the wavelength, smaller is the highest of the height of the antenna. So the dimensions of an antenna are usually expressed in terms of the wavelength, and low frequencies imply long wavelength, hence low frequency antennas are very large. So higher frequencies imply short wavelengths, and hence higher frequency antennas are usually small. So the magnetic field that the transmitting antenna radiates will produce an electric current in any metal surface that it strikes. However, if the metal that the signal strikes has a certain length relation to the wavelength, the induced current will much stronger on the object, and this is known as the antenna resonance. So every antenna has at least one exact resonance point. Also, an antenna transmits a stronger signal if it is resonant in the frequency used. So it is very important phenomena, that is antenna resonance. So to transmit the stronger signal, so it must be resonant at that frequency. So here radio frequency bands are given, that is used in a communication. So here first there is 10 kilohertz to 30 kilohertz, having the wavelength range from 3 into 10 raised to 4 meter to 10 raised to 4 meter. That is of a class very low frequencies. And here the service or the applications are given. It is used for long distance point to point communication, especially ship to shore navigation. Then the range from 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz, whose wavelength ranges from 10 raised to 4 meter to 10 raised to 3 meter. This is called as a low frequencies, and the uses are long distance point to point communication, and it is also used for the ship to shore navigation. Then the frequency range from 300 kilohertz to 3000 kilohertz, whose wavelength ranges from 10 raised to 3 meter to 10 raised to 2 meter, and they are falls into the medium frequencies. They are used for the MW broadcasting or the medium wave broadcasting. Then the frequencies ranges from 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz. Wavelength ranges from 100 meter to 10 meter. They are falls into the high frequencies class, and they are used for the shortwave broadcasting, national and international. Then frequencies from 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz, wavelength ranges from 10 meter to 1 meter. They are called as a very high frequencies. They are used for TV, FM broadcasting, radar and short distance communications. Frequencies from 300 megahertz to 3000 megahertz, wavelength ranges from 1 meter to 0.1 meter. They are called as ultra high frequencies, used for TV and air navigation. Frequencies for 3 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz, wavelength ranges from 0.1 meter to 0.01 meter. They are called as a super high frequencies, used for radar, radio, relay navigation. And the frequencies above 30 gigahertz, whose wavelength ranges below 1 centimeter, are called extra high frequencies, and they are used for experimental use. So these are the questions based on this topic. So different questions I have given over here. Solve the questions. Thank you.